Set Phasers, a highly illogical Star Trek podcast.
Hello. We are both remote. The excitement.
We're so remote.
We are. Your green room looks exciting.
Oh, this is not. This is a hotel room.
Oh, so is mine.
This is my night off.
You're both hoteling.
Yes. We're hoteling.
Literally.
Oh.
The idea of hoteling.
Yes, we're hoteling.
Hoteling.
It's quite good. Well, Stevie, how have you been?
I'm well, thank you. I'm in Arizona currently.
Ah, Arizona.
Talking all about podcasts with podcasting people, which is quite fun.
Oh, it's lovely.
It is lovely, and I've had to distill. They're like, "So, what are your podcasts?" And I say, "Oh, well, I have a Star Trek After Show podcast," which is quite fun. It's quite fun to say that. Yeah.
I have to say, the guitar player in our band was very impressed that we do a Star Trek podcast. I said, yes, we do. It's our own thing. We built it. And he was like, whoa, are you serious? And I was like, yes, it's very simple.
He's quite a cool guy. That means a lot.
I'm just saying, we're on the up and up. We're like getting cooler and cooler.
I like that. How have you been, my friend?
Oh, I'm here in Birmingham, Alabama, where it was hot all day and it's going to be hot all night. That's how it's going.
Hot and sweaty evenings in Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama. Well, it is Stardate
321-01014.
We are discussing at long last Lower Decks Season 2, Episode 10, the season finale, entitled First Contact. And it's been a long road getting from there to here.
Getting from there to here.
Yes, that's right.
It never gets old. Never.
No, it doesn't get old. It's forever young. Well, it's a great episode. Let's get into it in our various time zones and see what happens. It's time to run it down. Can you run it down for me? Tell me what just happened. Can you run it down for me? Now, there's no reason to get excited. It's just the season finale. I'm sure it'll be, a little episode where something happens and everyone smiles and hugs at the end. We begin with Cerritos at a starbase. They are meant to accompany the USS Archimedes, which is, a Galaxy-class ship, I think. It's Captain Freeman's old friend is the captain of that ship, Captain Sonia Gomez, whom I believe we met in season 1. They're going to do some first contact in the Laap system for the Laaperians. And Cerritos is going to be accompanying them. They will be positioned outside of the system because there's like a weird planetoid in the system that they're worried about. And they just want to take every precaution. And then the Admiral, who I believe is Admiral Freeman, Captain Freeman's husband, says, well, and I think it's time to celebrate. They have something to have congratulations about. Well, what could it be? We don't know. Meanwhile, on the Cerritos, Mariner runs into the Andorian Jennifer, with whom she has had enmity for the entire season.
Jennifer.
And drops him for contraband. And she's like, oh, try not to tell on ransom about my contraband. And Jennifer's like, I won't. And she's like, try not to think about me all the time. And Jennifer's like, I don't think about you at all, Mariner. And Mariner's like, think about me all the time. But as she's cleaning up, she overhears Captain Freeman coming in and talking to Sonia Gomez. And apparently Captain Freeman is being promoted to a new ship and will not be able to take all of her staff, not even all of her command staff. And so Sonia Gomez cautions her to be ready to make some, quote, tearful goodbyes. So Mariner runs in on the other Lower Decks crew who are doing a bunch of work. Boimler is actually making a banner for Captain Freeman Day because he is complete. And she tells everyone, this is going on and Captain's going to leave us and isn't anyone upset? And they're all sort of like happy for her. Like, oh, she's a great captain. She deserves to be promoted. Side note, Rutherford's implant is throwing up a bunch of caution things that's making it hard for him to see, but they don't have anything they can do about it at that point. As they're talking, Mariner realizes that the command staff doesn't know about Freeman's promotion yet because it's been kept a secret. So she is going to go tell them in order to make them upset, in order to basically create a huge row with the captain. Tendi gets an alert that Dr. Tiana wants to meet her in the sick bay, and she thinks the doctor is mad at her. And Rutherford thinks she's overthinking it, and he's like, you know what? I think you're going to be fine. You're great in sick bay, so it'll be great. Mariner busts in on Ransom, Billups, and Shax in 7 forward. That's what I call it because it's a smaller ship. And she tells them the deal, basically. Cerritos and Archimedes, they leave spaceport. Gomez gives her salutations to the Cerritos. I'll see you in the Laap system. And Captain Freeman's like, all right, warp me. And then the senior staff is like super like passive aggressive about it. They're very upset. Shax and Ransom, Mariner's dropping hints, and then finally it comes out that they know that she's getting promotion and she's not necessarily going to take all of them. So Freeman has to get them all rounded up and meet her in the ready room and just go to warp already. Tendi goes in to see Dr. Tiana and overhears, just a lot of overhearing in this episode. Overhears Dr. Tiana basically looking at her like Starfleet profile thing and talking to someone else and saying like, yeah, she's just not cut out for medical, and then deleting it. And Tendi gets freaked out and runs away. So Captain Freeman's in a ready room with the command staff and Mariner. She's confronting them. They're super upset. And she's like, I don't necessarily know I'm going to be able to take all of them with you. And everyone's really mad. Freeman says it's not official yet, so don't get all freaked out. Billups completely freaks out and drops a huge amount of profanity. Mariner asks who the new captain's going to be. And Ransom's like, well, I think it's obvious. It'll be me. I'm Ransom. I'm number 1. Freeman says they're actually going to be bringing on someone new. Everyone is shocked and upset. Mariner is gleeful that things are going terribly. Tendi, meanwhile, runs to find Rutherford. She's worried that she's going to be transferred. She's super sad. And Rutherford says, I have a great idea, even though his implant is super screwed up. He's like, why don't we go to all the places on the ship that you love the most? And we'll see them for one last time before you have to go. Archimedes arrives in the Laap system. Tendi and Rutherford visit their various places. In the warp core, they see Dr. Tiana come in, and they go and hide in the Jeffries tube, where they first hung out and watched that like pulsar happen, like season 1. Rutherford has a great idea about where they should go next. Somewhere off limits. Another cliffhanger in this episode, so we don't know exactly where they're going to go. Meanwhile, the senior staff is still complaining. They get sent back to stations. There's a red alert. Are we doing the red? Do you have the red alert thing? Should we do it? We rarely get to red alert. I know we don't get to.
Sorry, I was not ready for the. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Let's try this one.
I love it.
Red alert.
There we go.
Red alert. The Laaperian sun has emitted an unpredicted solar flare. It hits right into the unstable planetoid. The planetoid blows up. The shockwave is full of like magnetronic, biolithic, blobbity, blobbity, blah radiation, dip, dorp, dibbly dip. And it hits the Archimedes straight on with strange energies. And the Archimedes gets completely dead in the water, gets blown back by the shockwave. All the systems go out. The backup power cells are down. The ship systems are overloaded. They're moving with momentum and the Laaperian gravity well. And so now their first contact is about to become a first crash tact. I came up with that. It's not that good. Crash. They're going to crash if they don't do something. Meanwhile, on the Cerritos, they see that the Archimedes was hit. The planetoid was full. Oh, I wrote it down. Radiolytic isotopes. Ooh, they're magnetic. 20 minutes till impact. Can't use the tractor beam. They can't use the deflector dish because of all the debris. It's so magnetic. Everything would cause the ship to also be in the same condition. Freeman asks for suggestions. Even Mariner, even when Freeman says, break all the rules, what can we do? Mariner's like, I don't know. So Freeman heads for the captain's yacht, the cool, sexy. I feel like we haven't seen a captain's yacht in quite some time, but did Archer have one, like a fancy shuttle that like just looks cool, but it's still a crappy shuttle?
Don't recall. This is the first time I remember hearing about a captain's yacht.
Someone had a yacht. I don't know if it was Kirk or Archer. Anyway, it's so stupid. But anyway, she's going to her yacht, and Mariner's going to try to stop her because the yacht has the same sort of like shields as the ship, and it'd be dangerous for her. Turns out the place that Rutherford was suggesting that he and Tendi go hang out that was off limits was the captain's yacht. They're down there eating ice cream. They go and hide. Mariner and Freeman are in there arguing. Freeman, Mariner's telling her she can't do it. Freeman orders Mariner off the yacht, but Mariner won't go. Freeman's like, why do you act like this? And Mariner says, because she's a Kirk-style free spirit and her mother knows it, and that's why she's always saved her from getting a court-martial. And then Freeman drags the knife in. She says, you're not Kirk because you lack confidence. She says Mariner used to have confidence, but now the only thing she's confident about is that everything has to be a fight. And that she has to learn how to drop her defenses and make some allies in order to be a better officer. Rutherford and Tendi, who are overhearing this, that gives an idea. He barges in. He basically says the ship has to drop its defenses like Mariner needs to. If they drop their shields and remove the outer hull, then the inner hull wouldn't attract the isolytic radiation, and they would be able to go save the crew of the Archimedes. But they would need the whole crew working around the clock to get all the shielding off and all the hull plates off in order to then have just enough time to go save the Archimedes. It's classic Star Trek.
It is classic Star Trek.
It's classic Star Trek. And so Freeman gets on the horn. She tells every officer to go to their stations, and she exclaims, Cerritos strong.
Might as well have had a bloody hashtag.
Right? It is a hashtag. I hope they make a shirt that says hashtag Cerritos strong. I will buy it if you're listening. Mike McMahon. The crew works is like a nice montage of everyone working to get all the stuff off the hull. And Rutherford's working, but he's still getting a ton of error messages. And Billups actually comes over and checks it out and says, hey, your storage is maxed out. And we find out that Rutherford has been saving 3 copies of every memory he has with Tendi because last year he forgot her after he had his implant ripped out by Shax in order to save his life. Billups basically says, it's only going to get worse until you free up some space. They open up the bridge to hard vacuum because they can't see it. They can't have that there. And so everyone on the bridge is going to have to wear a suit. And I wrote Rutherford, but I meant Ransom is going to fly it the old-fashioned way with the thing on your face with the grid. It's like very Tron-esque. Meanwhile, Gomez and the crew are really working hard to try and come up with solutions in a classic Star Trek way. And the captain hasn't had any sleep. And they're like, you got to sleep, Captain. And she's like, in 7 hours, I'll take a break no matter what happens. But eventually they get the Cerritos almost completely naked. Mariner and Freeman are still arguing. And actually, Mariner tells Freeman that she never wants to work with her mother again and storms off. One of the hull plates, just a single one, is still attached. And they're not going to be able to release it manually in time. So they're going to have to go in with it. So everyone goes inside. Cerritos heads into the debris field. Rutherford's still having trouble seeing. He eventually decides, you know what? I'm going to purge these redundant files. As he does it, he gets all the visions of Tendi that he has. And also, strangely, a vision of being operated on and 2 people talking over him and saying, what if they ask why he has it? And they'll say, oh, they think it's just an elective. And then they drill. And then he's like, oh, yeah, well, I got rid of all those memories, and I think I saw something I wasn't supposed to remember. But anyway, we got to get that plate off. So Rutherford collects the lower decks crew. They head to cetacean ops, which is basically 2 small whales that do navigation, I guess, named Cumulo and Matt. Rutherford is able to speak to them. They have a weird thing for Rutherford. Maybe it's not weird. It's normal. It's space. Basically, there's a control node at the bottom of that pool down a thing. And if they can get to it and pull that thing, then they're going to be able to release the hatch and be able to go in without having to worry about it attracting all the debris. Mariner says she's going to head down, but she's still super upset about the captain and she's acting super weird. And Boimler mentions that the captain needs her support now because things are going crazy. So they all gang up on her and say, listen, we're your family and we'll always be there for you. Now go to the bridge and apologize to your mother. She goes, guys, you're right. They send Boimler down to swim and open up the clamp. He gets to the clamp. He's able to release it so the Cerritos can fly through the debris field, even though they still have to dodge huge asteroids. Mariner does make it to the bridge, apologizes to her mother. They make up. Boimler realizes that his suit was torn as he was swimming when he pulled the thing out. And so he doesn't make it back to the hatch and basically passes out in the water. The cetaceans save him. They throw him up on the deck. They're trying to get him to sick bay. Tendi's there. She works on him. She brings him out of it. Cerritos is crashing into debris. They crash into one big thing. Mariner goes flying out the window. She's going to be lost in space. She's unable to grab hold of the ship. And just at the last minute, as she's about to sail off into her doom, she's caught by none other than
Jennifer.
the Andorian, who says, Cerritos strong. Tendi revives Boimler, and the Archimedes is sailing into the atmosphere. The Laaperians are seeing it, and they think it's just like kind of a cool thing. Everyone braces for impact. They say they're going to stay with their captain. It's been an honor, all that stuff they always say. And then the Cerritos arrives just in time with the tractor beam to save them out and pull them into a stable orbit. Because the Archimedes is so screwed up, Freeman actually goes to make first contact. As you may recall, in season 1, they're upset that they could only do second contact. But this is Freeman's first contact. She's a little nervous, but everyone's there to support her, including Mariner, who's like, "It's great, Mom." Finally, Tendi confronts Dr. Tiana, who tells her that, yeah, she is going to take her off of sickbay. She's going to move her into senior science officer training. And it's great. There's a joke in there just for your D Space Nine heads about Jadzia Dax, and Dr. Tiana knows nothing about Jadzia Dax. He's like Spock, you idiot. Anyway, Tendi hugs Tiana. Dr. Tiana's fine with it. Boimler puts out the poster. It's no longer Captain Freeman Day. It's first contact day. The captain is super drunk because the Laaperians are super friendly and want to get drunk with them. Mariner is able to go to Jennifer and thank her and realizes that she's been a jerk all year because she has a tendency to push people away when she likes them. Letting down her defenses. Everyone ghosts the Cerritos. A team from Starfleet Command shows up and they want to come aboard. The senior staff all gather around Captain Freeman and say, "You know what? We're glad that you're getting your promotion. We're super happy about it. We're here to support you." Freeman says, "You know what? I'm going to turn it down because I've never had a better crew. Doesn't matter what we do here." Freeman goes into the into the conference room to tell them, "I'm turning it down." Turns out they're not there to promote Captain Freeman. They're there to arrest Captain Freeman. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun, indeed. Uh-oh. Where's my bollocks? We can have a flashback.
Flashback cliffhanger. And now present cliffhanger. Yes. Apparently, the Packed planet, called Packed Planet, was blowing up that day. And Captain L of Starfleet has proof that Freeman colluded with the Klingons is Klingon extremists, the ones we met in a penultimate episode, to blow up the planet while Freeman was conveniently on this mission of first contact. And Captain Freeman will have to face a tribunal. It's like, you know what? Stand down, staff. I'm going to go. Just don't let the crew know until we get this all sorted out. Crew's all lined up to do the thing where the Cap, the last time she walks off the ship, and they see that she's in handcuffs, and everyone is sad. And the episode and the season end with the crew looking on as the security ship takes off with Captain Freeman for her tribunal. The end. I did also write, note to self, why is security always evil? It's always evil security. Season 1 of TNG, season 1 of Picard, there was evil security. They've been infiltrated. They always like the evil security people. Even Enterprise had like the security that had been whatever in the
Section 31.
Oh, Section 31, Discovery Season 2, right? What's his name who ran the ship? Anyway, that is episode 10 of Season 2, Star Trek Lower Decks. I forgot that we're doing that now at the end of the rundown. And now, it's gotta be longer every time, and I mention it. Killer Romulan warrior nuns. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at Lower Deck Central here on Set Phasers, and we go straight to Stevie Mads in the field at the Easter egg test. Stevie, how you doing today?
Hi there, Aki. Good to be here, as always. Well, you know what? This was a very interesting episode of Star Trek Lower Decks because it was so full of plot that I don't think they really left that much space for the Easter eggs that we are so familiar with Lower Decks.
True.
Also, I have only been able to see this episode once, and that was only about 20 minutes ago. Therefore, I have only picked up 2 Easter eggs from
That
this
is
episode.
perfect. Let's go with 2 Easter eggs.
Well, obviously, Captain Freeman Day was the very obvious one, and it was, but
Yes.
a throwback to Captain Picard Day, and then it became
Mm.
First Contact Day, which of course we know about. And then the other one, and again, this is a very short Easter eggs, but the other one was the reference that you just mentioned there with regard to Jadzia Dax.
Ah, Jadzia Dax.
The deep
A senior
space
science officer to outweigh them all. Jadzia Dax. You know what? I'm not mad about Ezri Dax either. I know a lot of people were. It's complicated. We don't need to get into it here. I'm not going to relitigate the Dax situation, but I'm glad we got some mentioning.
I do think there was possibly some other egg or an Easter egg, if you like, with regard to the new starship class.
Yes.
So I think that was the other one, and I forget which class it was, but I know that that was new, and I think they had redesigned the class, and Mike McMahon had done it. So obviously the Cerritos is the California class, and I think there was a new class that he introduced there with the ship that Captain Sonia had.
The Archimedes. Yeah, it looked more like a classic style Star Trek ship, but it wasn't like a Galaxy class or whatever, Continental class or whatever.
Indeed. That's all I got.
Is that
that's
all we got? Well,
and it's back to you in the studio, Aki.
thank you so much. A pleasure as always on location in Arizona at the Easter Egg Decks. Thank you very much, TV Man. So now we move on to our penultimate segment of the program. Wow, it's late and it's hard for me to remember what happens next. It's called Quotable Moments.
Quotable moments.
It's fun now we have the video of it, isn't it?
We do. It's fun to have video. I have at least 2 in here in my typewritten notes. One of them, it may not be correct because I wrote it so fast, but it's when everyone's freaking out in the ready room and Shaq says, "I'm so spiritually centered, otherwise I'd snap." I really love that. It's very Bajoran. How's your pa doing? And I really enjoyed when the Archimedes is completely dead in the water and they have 20 hours and they're all looking around and Captain Gomez says, "Unless we figure something out, first contact is going to be us crashing into that planet." And they all look at each other and she says, "Okay, that's enough existential dread. Back to work." It's very, very Star Trek. And I have a third, if I can but find it.
I thought you were going to say if you would butt it into the comment. I don't know.
Bosh
it in. Indeed.
I bosh it in. No, that's it. That's all I have.
There you go.
I wrote another one down, but I didn't make it bold, so I can't find it.
I got about 4.
Ooh, what do you got?
I had, "I'll tell sickbay to brace for hangovers." Which I like that one.
Yes, that was good. There was going to be a party. Yeah.
I get Captain Freeman had quite a few, and then she said, "Just warp me already," which I quite liked. Shax said, "Nothing explodes around here without..." I cannot read that. "Nothing explodes around here without me being the one who blows it up."
I'll take it.
We'll go with that. Captain Freeman again, "Get off my yacht." Just
Get off my
like
yacht.
that. Get off my yacht. And then Mariner going, "Because I'm a..." And she was responding to her mother. She said, "Because I'm a Kirk-style free spirit who kicks butt and is super intimidating."
Yeah.
I just like that.
I thought these were all
Kirk-style.
great quotes. Yes. Kirk-style free spirit. Kirk-style free spirit.
Who kicks butt.
Who kicks butt. And you know
She does kick butt.
She does kick butt.
Yeah. And it gives us some insight into how the writers view her.
Yeah. Also, her mom kicks butt. So, whatever. It's,
Lots
it's
of
all
butt
in the family.
kickers.
They're butt kickers. Well,
Yeah.
shall we move on to next time?
Can we? Do we in fact know what the hell is coming next time?
Well, let's get there and I'll make something up.
Alrighty.
Next time on Set Phasers. Yes, Stevie, you're right. We have no idea what's coming next. Well, we do know that the 3rd week of November, Star Trek Discovery Season 4 will begin, and that is a big deal. I will be on tour for another week and a half, so we might take a few weeks off. There might be some special content in the old content thing. I might rewatch all of Star Trek Enterprise. I will. But
Yes,
either way, we will be back either next week
we will.
or sometime
Or
thereafter.
possibly the week after, I think. And we could start doing I think one of the things that we considered was rewatching the new Star Trek movies.
Oh yes, we mentioned that, and there's 3 of those, so we can probably maybe we chill for a week or so. But you'll find out it'll be on our we can get into the thing, but it'll be on all the things we're just about to mention anyway. If you
Indeed.
liked the episode you just heard, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Set Phasers. We put out new episodes every Monday wherever you get your podcasts, and we would love it if you told your friends about us.
Indeed. And if you want to see the episodes as they happen, you can watch us live if you become a patron of ours on patreon.com/setphasers. Hashtag, oh no, wait, that's the other thing. Hashtag, we can take it. Patronize us, we can take it. Yes, that's
me.
your line. Yes.
I'm doing a dance right now for the Patreon subscribers. Only Patreon subscribers can see what I'm doing right
Indeed.
now.
You can, of course, also join us for Netflix watch parties. It's something I find very hard to say. Once a month. We have lots of other little tidbits, of course, that you can get when you join our patronage. And please follow us on the old Instagram. We are at Set Phasers, and that's Set Phasers Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Hashtag Meme Game Strong.
Yes, indeed. Meme Game Strong. And as Stevie just said, if you like us and you want to support us in our continuing mission to discover what Star Trek has in store for us, you can patronize us. We can take it by going to patreon.com/setphasers.
Very good, Aki.
We have many cool things that can happen, including this dance move that I'm doing right now. Okay.
I loved it. Were you
Yes.
trying to do like
Sorry.
something
You were saying
really, really fast? And say, blah, 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 blah. This is all that we offer, and we only prescribe for things, and we blah, blah, blah. Like the exactly. Until next week or the week after or whenever the hell we decide to do this again, with only probably a week or two in between. My name is Stevie Mans, and we'll be back soon.
And I'm Cerritos Strong, and this has been Set Phasers, a highly illogical, obviously, Star Trek podcast.
Obviously, like the band single. I love it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Computer.
It's called vertical integration.
End program.